Today, I want to talk about, well, basically, it's a second part of my last video, and you can watch it here. So last time I actually made a video about MIVILUDES and Jehovah's Witnesses sending letters because they want to protest against MIVILUDES and people sending messages about what actually happened to them. Ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, other people are sending messages. In France, MIVILUDES is basically like an organization that works with the government, and they are researching sectarian organizations, for instance, like the abuses that take place often in cults and stuff. And they're looking at that. They cannot get rid of any cults or sects or religions, but they can look at these human rights aspects, and that people can have freedom of religion, and even when they're in a cult, but they cannot do certain things, they cannot abuse and actually abuse children and other people and shove it under the rug like nothing ever happened. That is what people are trying to fight, and Jehovah's Witnesses can actually lose their tax benefits. They can lose their tax benefits. They can lose their properties, such as kingdom halls, for instance. So there are quite a couple of things they might lose, even in France. So basically, this is a part 2 of the video that I made recently. And now I actually, because of you, thank you very much for that. And there were a couple of comments because I got quite a bit of engagement on my last video, and thank you very much for that. This really helps me to research new things and get deeper into them. This is why I kind of make, like, let's say a second part of that video, because I have found some messages from people online that were actually sent a letter to MIVILUDES and actually got a message back, and we're getting into what happened actually. Yeah, let's start it. So what I actually found were some messages from people, and I'm getting into them because it was interesting. It was fun to see that people, not just from France but also other parts of the world, for instance Australia, were actually sending messages, letters, writing, and maybe having phone calls or whatever with MIVILUDES. And MIVILUDES actually open to it, to listen to people's stories, and they can write them. So yeah, they want all the information, and a lot of people are writing actually. So that's a really good thing. It feels kind of like maybe a French Revolution in a sense. I think it's a fun way to say it. It's a French Revolution. Yeah, there are also other countries that, from what I know, what I've seen is, for instance, Scandinavian countries, and Russia is also a European country that is also not, like, I think, I don't know, Russia is also a country that is not really contributing to Jehovah's Witnesses. And I think it was Denmark and Sweden. I saw a message about Sweden as well. So they are actually taking taxes from Jehovah's Witnesses, the tax benefits that they have in their life because of certain aspects of things that have happened in the past, such as abuses, and they probably had it coming. It came through. They started taking taxes. But I've also seen Japan. So I really wonder what is really happening. But there are several countries. From what I've known, it's a couple of Scandinavian countries, it's Japan, and it's also Russia. So, and from what I know, and I've researched before in a video about what Jehovah's Witnesses were like in World War II and what they were going through. I also have that video on my channel, and you can watch it as well. So check it out. As what I know is in these countries, the Russia especially, they think it's a very problematic cult. It's really seen like that. The government, the country leaders really people see it as a very extremist. Yeah, that's the word. The extremist organization. So they're not keen on it, Here is a message that says, MIVILUDES replied to me, which is a good thing. This is the start of, this is the continuation. So it says, last month I wrote an email to the consular
sécurité à la MIVILUDES in France to briefly inform them of my story as a disfellowshipped Jehovah's Witness. Yesterday, I received an email to ask if we could meet via teleconference. Interestingly, I'm a Canadian, but they still feel my story has weight for them and their case. Anyone else? That's a really good thing. That's really good. Good to hear. Good to see as well. Oh, this is someone reacting to it, and it says, please make sure that they see the pages in the updated Elders book, Appendix A, under the subheading Matters Requiring the Formation of the Committee, and then like paragraph this and that. Unnecessary association with persons who have been removed from the congregation or who have disassociated themselves. There's a difference between simply greeting a person who has been removed from the congregation or who has disassociated himself and socializing with him. So this is someone actually telling people that they should involve these topics and show them in the same book that apostate teachings includes anything from celebrating Christmas to simply not agreeing with one or more teachings of the governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses. And like all these types of topics, I got another one here. And also the instructions that were sent from the branch coaching French Jehovah's Witnesses on how to write a persuasive letter to the French government in support of disfellowshipping. I can send you a screenshot if you need it, blah, blah, blah. And then there's a link. So, yeah, people are helping others to actually get in contact with MIVILUDES and how to do that. And maybe this person has already sent a letter or an email or whatever to get in contact. Someone says, thank you for your advocacy. Good effort and congrats. I've had a productive meeting with them before in Paris, and I'm an Australian. Added to add, so too has ex-Jehovah's Witness whistleblower Barbera Anderson. So I've been getting into that link actually.
In the message said someone like Barbera Anderson. But who is Barbera Anderson actually? I've stumbled upon the link that was shown here, avoidedjw.org. And it's basically a database with all the information, people that had cases about abuse and other types of information, such as what countries think about Jehovah's Witnesses and all kinds of cases to do with Jehovah's Witnesses, even a database with abusers and stuff and abuse cases, which I think is amazing. That is amazing. That is the truth. And that is, the Jehovah's Witnesses are showing the religious, like the sunny side, and the avoidedjw.org is actually showing the things that are in the darkness from the Jehovah's Witnesses coming into light. And that's even more beautiful. I don't know, maybe I can even find more there than what they're actually being shown on jw.org. But I will use different resources, of course, to tell my story, whatever that might mean in that moment. So I'm not sure about that. Barbera Anderson used to be part of the battle. So she had a high function actually within the Jehovah's Witness organization. She was a writer and a researcher throughout like the 80s, around the 80s and the 90s. She was working there, and she was also like a head researcher, and also for a specific book. So she was a well-known person within the whole organization, but at some point she stumbled a lot. She had a lot to do with the abuse cases, and they were showing quite a bit. They were coming in these archives, and at some point she moved away. And she started, with all the knowledge that she had, she started to expose Jehovah's Witnesses and what they were doing. And, well, they didn't like that, of course. She was also disfellowshipped with her partner. And from that point on, she started to become very much a key within the abuses, sexual abuses, for instance, and that they were locked away from the police and further investigation. It only stayed within the organizations and also then higher up. There was so much more information, right? Like a global information about Jehovah's Witnesses. There are 8.8 Jehovah's Witnesses globally. Apparently, there's a lot going on. You know, there's a lot going on, and but she didn't take it, and she became a key person for the research and justice for Jehovah's Witnesses and sexual abuse victims and stuff. And that is I think that's an amazing thing. I was not aware of her. I'm sorry that I wasn't aware of her. Maybe I should have known about her, but I only started researching like several months ago only. And I started this channel, like actually invoking the energy into this channel when it was like 6 months ago or something. And I'm very happy with what already happened. I want to put it out there again. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the engagement in the last video. That was great. It was amazing. Keep doing that. Also, subscribe on my channel and like this video if you enjoy it. Thank you very much.
In this article, Barbara Anderson, a longtime advocate who has spent decades exposing abuse and coercive control within the Jehovah's Witnesses organization, spoke with Avoid JW about the development and her intriguing history with the MIVILUDES. Jehovah's Witnesses are banned in France in 1939. Over the years, the organization has faced legal battles in France over issues such as tax status, involving both the group and MIVILUDES. What are the MIVILUDES? Now, I think this is a beautiful quote, actually, that MIVILUDES explained is, our focus is not on belief systems, but on behaviors that cause harm or violate human rights. It is not doctrines that concern us. It is coercion. MIVILUDES. Barbara says, in her interview here, for decades, governments hesitated to act. France is finally saying that psychological coercion and social shunning are not protected religious practices. They are violations of human dignity. Exactly. So, yeah, you can get into this interview that Avoid JW has done with Barbara Anderson. I was unaware of Barbara Anderson, but I definitely want to get into her as well, somewhere in the future. But I keep it at this to make not the longest video, but with all the information that I need right now. Yeah, so we can talk about what is happening right now. This is the next step. So let's continue.
We really want some justice about this topic. That's what we want. Real justice with MIVILUDES. Yeah, that was it. Thank you very much for watching this video, and may we have justice in France as well, and continue in European countries and out there as well globally. Our goal is not necessarily, and it's very difficult to get that started, but not to get rid of the cult necessarily, but the immense abuse that have been taken place globally and in your country and in Europe and in the rest of the world, America. The abuse needs to stop, and the mental abuse, the brainwashing, the always trying to run away from what is presented in society, and people don't have a place. And where do you go if you don't have a place in your own religious organization and not in the world? Because you don't know how to stand on 2 feet in the world that you came on. It was decided for you that you were going to live in a cult, or it was your decision through brainwashing or whatever. This needs to stop. I said it before, this needs to stop happening. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you very much. I'm very happy that you're here, and we need to keep on fighting. Okay, so thank you very much, and peace.